Hello there everybody, my name is Kevin. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today, coming at you with that sudden death tournament, which is personally one of my favorite game modes besides the Goblin Heist. I think that's the word. Yeah. That one's a great one. Really enjoy that one. But today, besides the video, which in all of these destroy people, I think I got 10 or 11 wins before I was just I don't know. Once I get all the chests and stuff, I'm not really too keen on just keep playing it. But as you guys can see by my horrible cutout, Battle Healer, new card. It's coming to the game December 2nd. Supercell came out with a video talking about it. Excuse me. Guess my voice doesn't want to work. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's a new card, new concept. They're bringing in three things we've never had to the game, right? They're bringing in hovering troops, which we'll talk about a little bit more. So they're bringing in hovering troops, self-healing, and like troop healing. So the crazy thing about hovering, and I've been kind of thinking about this a lot, and it's a really crazy thing for me because not only is hovering going to be added to the Royal Ghost, which is awesome because that's going to completely change the way the Royal Ghost interacts, being able to cross the river at any point. But the real question is does Log, Earthquake, and Barb Barrel affect them? Yeah, they're hovering, but so is it only good enough to cross the river? Because I feel like if it those have to work. They have to, or else the cards instantly become overpowered. So I don't think Supercell will do that, but been surprised before, right? So fingers crossed on that. The next thing that's really crazy that I've been thinking about is, it's interesting that once the Executioner gets nerfed, a card that is very strong in, AoE dealing with a large number of troops, right, is now getting nerfed, which is even without the battle healer, going to encourage people to use more troops. And as you can see here, my Executioner just tanked like 12 elixir. But it's interesting because now that this is getting nerfed, which is going to encourage people to use more Swarm, more mass cards without the fear of it, except I personally think Wizard's going to be just as popular. But now that the Executioner is getting nerfed and you have a card that's going to encourage it even more, I think there's going to be a lot more people using Fireball, a lot more people using arrows, buildings, especially the bomb tower, I think is going to be used more. And I think this is a really, really interesting card to have added to the meta. And I think for 4 elixir and it being rare, which means that everyone from free to play to pay to win is going to be able to level up this card. I think it's going to be within the first season one of the most used cards. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think having a card that's going to take over the meta and shift it differently isn't necessarily bad. I do think that, for some of those people that don't like those main cards like Royal Giant, Expo, Cycle decks, I think, even Golem Lava Hound too. I think, gonna have to find more ways to beat it because I don't think they're gonna be going anywhere anytime soon. Uh, these are cards that I think, given the Battle Healer, are gonna just become even more solidified in the meta. And I think that also the excuse me, I think also that the really interesting thing that the Battle Healer is gonna bring is cards like Goblin Gang, Minions, Minion Swarm. All those cards normally by the tower are 2 hits by arrows. If the minions or whatever card it is the same level as the tower, normally it's taking 2 to 3 hits. But if you have a card like Battle Healer, all of a sudden now you're gonna find that hits the tower once, now you got to do it again. Now zap isn't enough. So I think Wizard, if the Executioner's nerf is going to affect it as much as I think it will, I think Wizard is going to become an extremely used card as well as Magic Archer. And I think that, this is definitely going to be a different change that potentially people aren't going to like, but I think it is going to help the meta in the long run. I think right now it is a little unhealthy with how much people are relying on specific new cards that have been updated. But speaking of updated cards, the Witch is going to revert back to relatively its normal state, which prior to the Battle Healer being announced, I think is a great thing. But now that the Battle Healer's announced, the Witch is kind of dangerous. I mean, the Witch is probably going to be one of the strongest cards in the meta if you think about it, because not only is that the perfect spawning card for a card like the Battle Healer as a tank, it now does area damage, so it's going to be able to take out those minions like it did before, or the bats, or things like that, the skeletons, etc. So I think there's definitely going to be some kinks and some bumps that we're not anticipating on the road, down the road. But I think, that I'll definitely be playing the Battle Healer. I'll definitely enjoy using the Battle Healer. So I'm not really worried about how it'll affect me. But I definitely think Supercell may not anticipate the usage actually coming into this card because I do think it's going to be up there where Baby Dragon is, where, Executioner and Tornado are right now, honestly. But guys, more importantly, what I'm really interested in is what you guys think. So I'd love to hear down in the comments below. Would love to chat with you guys about it. I'm very into Clash Royale, very into, potential updates they have in the future, potential nerfs or buffs they have for cards. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. If you guys haven't noticed, this is my first video that I've actually ever uploaded, so there are going to be some kinks and things, or the video personally for me is not how I'd want it to be 100%, but I'm also not fully at the point where I'd like to be with editing. I have been using Final Cut Pro for a while, but it's something that's actually, as most of you guys would know, it's a pretty complicated editing, so I'm trying to get all the fancy stuff down, you could say. So the audio unfortunately isn't working, which is really bugging me, but I will do my best to have it on the next video. So please stay tuned for that. I plan to do a lot of Clash Royale. I also enjoy other video games. I do a lot of outdoor stuff with my friends or girlfriend, whoever that may be. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so there's a lot of stuff to do out here. So if you guys are interested in that as well, put that in the comments. I'd love to know. But besides that, guys, don't forget to like, comment, especially. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and subscribe. Be really awesome to see that, this is something you guys like. My content is worth making. But regardless, guys, stay peachy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.